The movie begins with a captivating spacefight scene where two spacecraft are engaged in a heavy battle. After being chased through the galaxy, one of the ships opens a wormhole and disappears inside, leaving its pursuer behind. When it finally enters the Milky Way galaxy, the ship crashes into a satellite, falling into Earth's atmosphere as if it had been damaged. Knowing it would be impossible to save, the alien takes a smaller pod and abandons its ship, landing safely inside an unknown forest. The scene changes and we are taken to a deep forest, where a soldier is wearing camouflage and keeping an eye on known criminals, his gun trained on their heads. A few minutes later, Quinn sees a large ship falling from the sky, hurtling toward him, and quickly takes the shot, hitting the man right in the head. Just the ship is about to fall on you, Quinn jumps, clearing the area but falling down the hill. Quickly picking himself up, Quinn sees that the area all around him has caught fire due to the impact. Walking closer to the fallen ship, Quinn finds a helmet and other devices that he isn't sure of the use. While fascinated with the device, Quinn is startled when he hears someone coming behind him and calms down when he sees that it's just his colleague. While they're discussing calling in the incident, the two soldiers are startled when they see something hanging from a tree and realize it is their friend, his body completely mutilated. As they look at the body in disbelief, they see an invisible creature hanging from a tree next to it and immediately open fire. Retaliating, the creature fires back at them, hitting Quinn's friend in the chest while he manages to escape the blast. A few seconds later, the device he had found on the ground activates and fires, hitting the alien. As he stared at the invisible creature, whose body was becoming clear due to the blood dripping down on it, the alien's eyes opened, looking bright yellow in the darkness. Frightened, Quinn quickly gets to his feet and rushes out of the alien's vicinity before it can attack him. Quinn finally makes it into town the following morning and sends off parts of the armor through mail to prove that the extraterrestrial life he witnessed was real, but he swallows an item that has fallen off of the armor. In the city of Maryland, Rory, Quinn's autistic son, is having a hard time in school after bullies set off the school fire alarm, which irritates him. After calming himself down, Rory walks home from school and finds a postman with a delivery on the front door from his father. That night, Emily, Rory's mother, comes home with a Halloween mask for Rory's night out, but he is not enthusiastic about it as he feels the other boys will bully him. Later that night, Rory goes through his father's package and discovers the armor Quinn had sent. As the machine activates, Rory begins to tinker with it to figure out what it does. In the facility in Maryland, Quinn is brought in to give his accounts of what he had witnessed in the woods. Although he had first assumed it was just a psych evaluation, Quinn starts to become suspicious when they use a lie detector test and ask him invasive questions. After his interrogation, Quinn is taken onto the bus where other soldiers are ready for transport. There, Quinn meets Nebraska, who was a former Marine who had murdered his captain, and the two engage in a brief conversation while Nebraska introduces him to the other captives. After being picked up from the university where she worked, Professor Casey is flown out to a secret facility where she is shown a real-life alien that they had captured as well as its technology. After going through a decontamination protocol, Casey meets Will, the agent who had captured the alien, whom he was calling a predator. Casey looks at the creature in fascination as Will explains to her why she has been brought to the facility. Showing her the alien's DNA, Will explains that it has been spliced with human genetics, shocking the professor. When she asks about the missing armor that was found next to the alien, they explain to her there was no sign of them, making Quinn, the first man who made contact with the alien, the first suspect. Meanwhile, Rory continues experimenting the alien's device, unaware that he was sending out a beacon to another predator who tracks the signal. The approach of a new spaceship is detected by Will and his men, whose jets almost crash into the alien craft as Rory accidentally deactivates the invisibility. While they discuss where the ship would be arriving, Casey notices the alien they had detained was coming to and attacking the men attempting to restrain it. Suddenly, the place erupts in chaos as the alien begins flinging the men left and right, its quick reflexes making it difficult to shoot down. Casey attempts to flee the area, but is locked in as she needs to go through the decontamination process and rushes into the chamber. After the alien kills everyone in the lab, it puts on its armor and activates the door to the area where Casey is hiding. Slowly approaching her, the alien looks at Casey while she is crouching naked in fear and walks away without harming her. The alien then activates his armor and can see where it is kept, watching Rory play in the background. Once the alien is sure about its destination, it continues its journey outside, killing everything that moved on its way out. Outside the facility, Quinn and the transported men are shocked when they see a soldier being thrown from the roof of the building. Realizing that they need to move immediately, Quinn and the other men create a distraction, tricking the soldiers into giving up the bus. Putting the bus into gear, they attempt to escape but stop when they see the alien running across the roof with Casey chasing it. While attempting to shoot the alien, Casey accidentally injects herself with a tranquilizer, forcing Quinn to save her. While they escape the scene, the alien murders the backup truck full of soldiers and successfully heads out of the facility before anyone can stop him. Quinn, Nebraska, and the rest of the escaped men find a place to lay low to avoid detection from the US military that was after them. When she finally comes to, Casey is shocked to see 6 men staring at her and jumps to her feet to grab the gun. Telling her that they only wanted to help, Quinn calms her down, explaining that she wouldn't be able to survive all on her own. Finally convinced, Casey decides to stay with the ex-military men and begins to tell them about the Predator, explaining that the creator was looking for his lost equipment. Realizing the alien was looking for the gear he took, Quinn comes clean about what he had done. Quinn had a sinking feeling that he had put his family in danger and quickly headed over to his ex-wife's home, finding her in the kitchen. Telling her he was looking for a package, he quickly heads down to the basement and realizes his son had taken it out to play. Worried about his son, Quinn explains to his wife what could be chasing Rory if they don't find him in time. Taking the cavalry with him, Quinn heads out to search for his boy who was trick-or-treating. Unaware of how powerful the gear he is wearing is, Rory accidentally causes an explosion, which Quinn sees from a distance. Shocked by the unexpected explosion, Rory drops the helmet and decides to return home. On his way there, he decides to cross the school friend, unaware that he is being chased by alien hounds. Just as he notices the giant animals in shock, he sees Quinn approaching in a car, hitting the creatures before they can grab his boy. With the combined effort of his team, Quinn manages to take out one of the hounds, shooting the other in the head. Although they assume they are safe for the time being, the group is shocked when the Predator arrives and grabs Nettles by the nape, holding him in front of his friends as a threat. When the alien is distracted by Baxley Turret Syndrome, Quinn uses the opportunity to shoot the creature, causing him to drop Nettles. Although they attempt to escape through the school, the alien catches up to them, grabbing Quinn by the neck, who immediately gives him the technology he was looking for. Suddenly, a larger, more frightening predator arrives, and the two begin to fight. Although the small alien makes all the effort to attack the bigger one, the frightening predator easily kills his counterpart, allowing Quinn and the others to escape. After finding a good place to lay low for a while, and Casey begins to do research on the creature's fluids and realizes that the aliens were attempting to update their genetics by finding the best creatures from all the planets they visit. Suddenly, they hear Nettle yelling out for them, showing them that the hound, who seems docile now, has been following them. Realizing that the army was able to track them to the farm they had been hiding in, they chase the hound so it wouldn't be caught and agree to speak to Will. When Casey is alone with the agent, Will explains that the predators know that humanity is an endangered species and are attempting to take over before all the valuable DNA is gone, confiding in her that the dead predator was bringing them away to stop them. Deciding they were all a liability, Will decides that Casey and her ex-military friends need to be executed. While Casey is about to be gunned down, the previous alien hound arrives, distracting the agent attempting to kill her and giving her enough time to retaliate. Quinn and Nebraska also escape the agents trained on them and find Casey rushing out of the farmhouse. While trying to figure out a way to get out of there, the group sees Coyle and the others arrive in a helicopter they had stolen. Meanwhile, Will realizes that Rory's autism is giving him the ability to understand the alien technology and take him to the ship the first alien had arrived in so he can activate it. Although Will gets Rory to open the ship, his victory is short-lived as Chin and his men arrive to save the young boy. while attempting to use Will as leverage to escape the military personally with their guns trained on them. The group falls under attack from the giant alien, who chops off Lynch's arm. The place falls into chaos as the giant predator begins to take out all the soldiers as it makes its way to the ship. During the standoff, Will attempts to make peace with Quinn, but the sniper knows the agent is lying. Suddenly, the ship's translator is activated by the alien, who tells them he is there to destroy the ship and take Quinn as his prize, warning the rest to run before it kills them. Having no other choice but to abandon the ship, the group of military men attempts to escape as the predator blows up the craft. Although they assume they have put some distance between the creature and themselves, the giant creature proves them wrong by hunting them down one by one. The forest erupts in gunfire sounds as the predator uses his camouflage and advanced weaponry to pick them out. While putting themselves at risk to save their friends, Baxley and Sile are killed by the alien, who survives multiple attacks without a scratch. Hoping to save his son, Quinn attempts to give himself up, unaware that the alien wants his Rory instead of him. Flinging Quinn aside, the alien grabs Rory and takes him into his ship. Unwilling to let his son be taken, Quinn follows the alien and jumps on the ship while it flies away. Determined to save his friend, Nebraska sacrifices himself by jumping into the ship's engine, causing it to crash and allowing Quinn to enter the ship. After several attempts, the ship crashes, leaving the alien severely hurt from the combined attacks Quinn and Casey were throwing at it. When Casey activates the shield that takes the Predator's arms, Quinn uses it to blow up the creature, finishing it off with his gun. Once they're safe, Quinn, Rory, and Casey gather up all the stuff from their fallen friends and pay their tribute, acknowledging the sacrifices they had made. A few months later, Quinn is seen walking into a facility where scientists show him an item they had found in the Predator's ship. They explain to him that the creature was attempting to give them a suit that would attach to humans, so they could use it as a weapon against the larger predators. Suddenly, the weapon activates and attaches itself to one of the scientists, transforming into a full-bodied suit before it deactivates and falls to the ground. Looking at the new weapon, Quinn announces that he would be the one wearing the suit. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our recap. Like the video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.